Hi, this your Stop Podcast, THISYOURSTOP podcast. Find that on YouTube, like and subscribe. It is free, swear to God. Just click it. Today is Saturday, the day before Mother's Day, and I got mamas in the building. Mama number one, Red.
How are y'all? My name is Jordie from Atlanta, Georgia, mommy of one. You can follow me on Instagram, Jordan, JORDAN.MB_.
Lisa
Lisa on the mic. One of incomes of 2 to the 3 and 4 from Boston, Mass. Dora the Explorer.
What's your social media if you want to share it?
I don't.
Okay.
Well, after those two came in, hard and strong, I'm going to come in soft and polite. Hi, this is Lilly. Follow my Instagram, MadMax187. Follow me.
How you spell it? Because sometimes I have a hard time following you.
MADD_MAX187. Follow.
She's a murderer.
Oh, shit.
And we got OG in the building.
Okay, now come through.
OG Mama D.
I'll do the little.
Hello, it's Devona. Happy Mother's Day.
Thank you. Oh, no, not me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You got social media you want to share, Ma? No. Anywho.
With a smile on her face.
Yo,
That's how the OG mamas do it.
No.
Nice, nasty.
Yeah. Nicey.
I made
That's
up
another song
that
I made up. That's another song I made up. I don't think y'all know that song. Call Me Nicey.
No. Not quite.
Anyway, I didn't even introduce myself after all that talking. It's Machine Gun Johnny. You can find me on Instagram. Machine Gun, as it's spelled. Johnny is JAUN, as in nicety I.
She's mother adjacent. She's a TT.
I'm a TT.
A career TT.
Mother adjacent.
Yes.
Yeah.
Auntie Stuff don't have no kids, honey. Anyway, speaking of mothers, let's start from the very beginning. When you found out you were with child, how did you feel about that? Anybody can chime in. We ain't got to go in order, y'all, okay?
I was like no symptoms. I was like totally fine. But I should have known because I would get off work every day and knew what I wanted to eat for dinner right then. So I went to Walmart. I'm like, let me go take a little testy test. So I took it in the Walmart bathroom. It was
sanitary.
It was one of the I think it was like 15 minutes air test. Girl, that thing popped up in 2 minutes. I was very pregnant. 2 minutes. I took, I think, maybe like 2 or 3 more tests after that.
In Walmart?
No.
Oh.
I think 2 hospital tests. I peed in a cup, at the doctor's office. It was just surreal. Ain't no way. Who gave me permission to be somebody's mama?
Yeah.
Oh,
I really did that.
I forgot to tell y'all, Jordie's a youngin'. Jordie's the baby of the bunch. And everybody else is, I don't know if you want to say, honey, but...
Mind your goddamn business.
Dory, what happened when you found out you was having Aver?
It's a funny story. I actually was I had a boyfriend for years and years. I had a boyfriend for 8 years, and we had this terrible breakup. And the whole 8 years, and I was really young at that time too. My boyfriend had 6 children. Ooh. Yeah. And when we started, it started to get rough and rocky for us at this point, and he was like, yeah, and I don't know what's wrong with you because, I've been trying to get you pregnant. I said, damn, you trying to get me pregnant? You had 6 kids already. It was just a whole crazy, it was just crazy. And then, like I said, our breakup was so rough, and shortly after that, I met this guy, and I had known him for years. We went to high school together, but I don't want to say he was my rebound guy, but he knows that he was. I was just trying to get over.
I don't want to say that, but he does know.
Yeah, I just wanted to get over homeboy. So, I started to talk to this dude, and realistically, I met him probably in June, and I was pregnant in February. It was just very...
Oh, I thought you were going to say July.
No, that right. But it seemed so quick to me.
After 8 years.
Yeah, after being in such a long relationship for that to happen. And the crazy part is I was like, I was to be at work, like, oh, I don't feel good. I gotta go home. I'm gonna go home. And at that time I worked at the hospital, and one of my coworkers, nosy ass motherfucker, because that's all you was. She'll bring
You know who I'm talking about.
Yeah, she'll bring, you know who you are. She'll bring a pregnancy test to work. So take that. Like,
And take it in front of me.
yeah.
Like a drug test.
Not like, here I got some gum.
Yeah,
Like,
no, that's what she did. She like, yeah, I think that you might be pregnant. We went into a little locker room. I took her I went in the bathroom. She was waiting outside like, yeah, I told you.
I would have been like, no, it's negative.
Yeah, that
you
was
wasn't
just
even trying to be helpful. You just wanted to know.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. It wasn't even like, it definitely wasn't a helpful shit. She definitely wanted to do that, and that's how but I was excited, but at the same time after, it was just weird. It was just very, very weird and fast for me.
Jordie, was you excited, or how'd you feel if you want to share that?
I was nervous as hell. As hell. Because, a lot of times people feel like, you got to be ready to have a baby. But in all actuality, you're never, ever going to be.
You're never going to be ready.
Never going to be ready.
Never.
I was 21 when I found out I was pregnant. I was, by the time I found out I was pregnant, I was 3 months pregnant already. And I was about to turn 22. So I was like young. I just didn't feel like I was ready. Like, what am I going to do? I was nervous to tell. I was just talking about this earlier. I was nervous to tell Gran, like, she gonna choke me out. But then I started doing the math, like looking at the photo albums. Everybody kids was at the wedding. at the wedding. All of our parents.
Yeah.
I wasn't, but like most of us were. So, but I never felt like I wasn't gonna be supported. It just was like, damn, like,
fear of actually saying it.
Yes. And before I got pregnant, I was like, wow, when I get pregnant, people gonna know I'm having sex. Like,
Okay,
they're
Mother
gonna know I'm
Mary.
doing it. Like,
Humping, doing something.
Punching.
Yeah, for real.
I was really, really nervous, but the more I guess the reception that I got, like, as I told people, it kind of like put me at ease. Like I knew he was gonna be okay. Like, or I was gonna be okay, because they was crying. Like, they cried. They were more excited than I was, probably.
A little bit. Diane Carroll, you want to tell us?
That'd be you. Sunglasses and Advil.
Yo, Advil. Sunglasses and champagne.
That's a problem.
Oh shit. All right. Well, I have 3 kids. I had my first son. Well, I only have one son. At 19. It was scary. You know what? I found out I was pregnant when I went to a trip to Trinidad. Listen, I'm partying, having a good time. My dad's like, yeah, you look like you're pregnant. I'm like, no, I'm not pregnant.
I'm not doing it.
No, having a good time, jumping up. Anybody knows me, Mad Max, love to party. So we come back to the States. I was like, yeah, let me pee on this stick. Found out I was pregnant,
Like an English
This pound, belly, you want to pee on a stick when your belly's fully.
Right. How far along were you?
Man, I must have been like 3 months. So my dad, he wasn't happy. My mom was like, you know what, Lily, just come back home.
You did.
Yeah, when I came back home, y'all gonna find this funny. So I come back home, right? I had this weave. It was like big, curly, right? I had on a jean jacket, a little half shirt, belly popping out, jeans. Here, my sister. Yeah, you look like
Beloved.
You walked out.
Beloved. And then she looked like from the back, she didn't look pregnant, and then she turned around.
That was me.
Sister. It was, but with my first son, it was scary. My dad didn't approve, but I had my mom and my sister, and from that, I was like, okay, we're gonna raise this boy. My sister loves him. I love him. He's crazy now. Well, not crazy like that, but,
He's
teenage. Yeah, he's a teen, 15 years old. If you guys have sons, you guys know, especially around that age, they get into a lot of stuff. But like I was saying, it was scary. But I had a
In
lot
case y'all
of
haven't
support.
noticed, these two are sisters. I mean, Ray Charles could see it, but just
Yo,
so
I
y'all
can't.
know.
First of all, I got no glasses. You can't see shit.
Okay, beloved.
Yeah. I can't stand
So can
it.
I ask you though, like,
Yeah.
because everybody in here, we only have the one. Is it easier? Is it less less scary or like less nerve wracking the second and third time,
God,
or is it scary every time?
It's 9 and 6. It's scary every time. I'm not even going front. It's scary every time. You carrying a life. Each pregnancy was different. I have to say that. It was different each time. My second pregnancy, I was working a lot, taking a bus. I didn't have a car at that time. So it was like a lot of stress. My third pregnancy, it was beautiful, nice, sweet. Like I had a car. I was working. Like I said, it was different. And every one of them, it has like a different personality. It's so crazy. It's crazy. The smallest one, you would think the middle child is the headache. The smallest one, oh my God.
OG.
Yo, real OG. Like she's been here before. And everybody, when they see her, they tell her that like, you've been here before. Yeah.
OG
but-
Mama D.
Yes.
What happened? Tell the people.
I got pregnant. I was almost 16. I was 15. And I was so in love with my son's father. And I never thought about, like, I couldn't get welfare. You know, I couldn't do this. I couldn't do that. I didn't think about it. Like, I was just so in love with my son's father. And we planned this baby. We wanted this baby. And I had that baby. You know, but I was happy as ever to be pregnant with Andre. You know, I had him at 16 and a half. I was happy.
How was Ma?
My mother, I called her from the clinic because I was like, she's going to want to fight.
Yeah,
She
so
ain't
I'm going to ease her up before I get home.
She ain't understand this shit. And I was more scared of my brother. You know, I was more scared for my brother to know than my mom or dad. I was more scared. My brother was that brother, like, he wanted his sisters to be saints. And
Like most brothers do.
I was nowhere near it. Nowhere near it. But, you know, it is scary when finally you got this life you have to take care of. And you have someone looking up at you, you know, but I felt like I got through it, you know. I did my thing, you know.
Did you have a baby shower?
No, I didn't want it.
I hear that. I don't have any children, as y'all know. I'm going to keep saying it. So the things that I say are from being someone's child. So I would never try to come out my mouth like I'm somebody's parent. But I can't stand baby showers. I can't stand gender reveals. That's just my personal. If someone wants to do it and participate, I'm going to participate. But
She planned mine.
I did.
She planned mine in the reveal. I didn't even want
And here
it.
she go on top of she can't stand it.
She's a career TT though. Like she's full blown into the TT role. Like that's her. Well, I mean at that point we didn't know, but that's my nephew. Like
Auntie Stuff for the kids. Diane Carroll, beloved, did you have a baby shower?
Only for the first one. After the second one, it's like, and third one, you either getting a boy or a girl. And at that point, it's like, you know, you already know what you need. And, you know, if you on top of your shit, you got a job, can take care of them. But
you might still have stuff
so,
from the first.
So you think baby shower is like just for the gifts? I find it to be showering the mother-to-be with support, of course, things, but, you know, just a little show celebration.
Also a way for people to be nosy, but
It's for the meatballs.
The meatballs.
For the meatballs.
The baby shower meatballs.
meatballs, the food.
Okay.
Through now. That's
Who's her baby daddy?
Yes. That's why I don't like it, because it's you want to see the other side of the family, and then I don't want to be pregnant and stressed. Like, are they gonna get along? Why did his mother?
I gotta make sure everybody is okay. I gotta make sure everybody's happy. Like,
But now, like a support system, I feel like is so important.
It
like
is.
the Kelly gang, everything is a big deal. Everything's a party. Everybody like gathers around you. I didn't worry about my gender reveal. I didn't feel like I had to be worried about, who's coming, who's gonna be. They wanted to do it and they did it. And if you have that village, you have that support. You don't have to worry about nothing. I didn't. I think I might have for the baby shower. I did the invitations. I did a little evite and I sent them out. That's all I had to do.
My son is 15, so at that time we didn't have no gender reveal.
Right.
We only had baby shower. It was word of mouth. Oh, Lilly, let's having a baby shower. Come.
Mm-hmm.
I think you don't remember yours?
I
Yeah, I went to the registry. I think what was open at that time?
Back then?
Yeah, no, I can't stand you.
Back then.
Baby's RS is
Right.
still up. Yeah,
Like,
you know, that was it. We just went to the registry, picked out all that. Yeah, so it's just like
Lisa, you say you don't remember yours?
I really don't remember my baby shower. Any of it. No. Wait, I had a baby shower? I don't.
Wow.
retards. Can you remember?
Oh my God.
Yeah, take that out. Yeah, I don't really remember having no baby shower. I actually did have a baby shower. Let me go back. I had a baby shower. It was nice. I had a baby shower at Auntie Becky's house in the backyard. Yes. I remember when sister came and she said, I'd never seen a house like this in Dorchester. Ooh, child, you ghetto. Ooh, child. That's what I want to say. Shout out to yourself because you was ghetto. Because you never seen a house like this in Dorchester. And my aunt's house is a nice house, but it's a typical house. So, big up yourself. You know who you are.
Big up yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly. So I don't want everybody to think that I'm just trying to have a black trauma porn session. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to be real and talk about mostly good, but the bad and the ugly is important to me because people got to know. Like I said, we have different generations in here, different mothers. So I want to know how y'all dealt with, if you had to deal with PPD, postpartum depression. I feel like back in the day, it really wasn't talked about. Was it a thing? Like you just know you had it or you were dealing with it? Was it called that back then?
It definitely was called that, but you really didn't hear it like you hear it today. At least I didn't. You really didn't hear it when I was coming along. When I was having my son, when you heard it, it was usually with an older woman. I never heard it with no one within my age group, or let's say even 16 to 25. When I heard postpartum, it was always a woman 35 and older having children. Other than that, I never heard it.
No, I never heard it either. When I thought about postpartum, when I had my first son, it would just be like an old white lady. No bullshit. Like, old white lady having this syndrome. But now, as I get older, I see it. I hear it more, especially working in the healthcare industry. I'm like, wow, postpartum really is a real thing. Really? I hear it more nowadays. But back then, when I was 19, 20, postpartum, old white lady going through something after they had a
soccer mom.
For me,
soccer mom.
My baby, I had him in 2019. And when you having a baby, like we were just talking about, you're never ready. Like you can read the books, you can talk. But the whole pregnancy, it was never brought up. Of course I read the books, but at the appointments, it was never like, here's what to look for. Here's what it could be. It just wasn't. And then at my 6-week checkup, they give you a checklist. Are you experiencing these things? Yes or no? Yes or no? And granted, for some people, maybe it sets in sooner, but you done had your baby for 6 weeks at that point and you don't know what's going on with yourself. Yeah. It didn't set in for me. At my 6-week checkup, I was fine. I put no to everything. But it's not like, I feel like we're not prepared enough. You don't know what to look for. I didn't know until because I'm not like prone to anything like that, I didn't know what was wrong with me. But also that it's not just postpartum depression. Some mothers have anxiety, like can't stop thinking about what could happen. What if I drop him? What if
Right.
just you like you're like
goodness. That's so true.
or it's rage. Some moms can't like the sound of the baby. And there's nothing wrong with you. It's just you're coming like off this high. You will never be the same person that you were before you had this baby. Your brain is rewired. You look different. You think different. Your routine is different.
Your body's
Everything about you is different. So you don't know like, or you might be like, what what is wrong with me? And it's normal, but you might feel like it's taboo because nobody says anything. Like, I don't even know what they would have done at the 6-week checkup if I said, yes, I was experiencing these things. I don't even know how can you help? Because like I said, you already had the baby a month and a half. Like,
Yep.
you should be
That's
talking about
so-
what to look for.
That's so crazy you said that. So I keep talking about my first son because I went through a lot with him. You know, it's my first baby. So when I first had him, they had to keep him in the NICU because he had swallowed his poop. So when I went to see him every time, my heart would like sink in my ass, y'all. Like, and I didn't understand what it was. Can I tell you about when he was 5? I don't know. I must have been reading something, and and it said, "Yo, you was having an anxiety attack." I would have never known that. Like, nobody ever explained it to me.
Right.
No, even if I told somebody, I felt like they wouldn't understand where I was coming from.
And that's
'Cause
the
I
problem,
felt like
too.
if I told somebody, I would be a bad
They're
mom.
gonna take my baby. Like,
Yo.
Yeah.
And it took me 5 years. Like, Lily, there was nothing wrong. You was just having an anxiety attack.
and
like,
I feel like it's not taken as seriously as it should be. It's okay to talk about it. Like, it needs to be like, I was watching a documentary and there are women who kill themselves. There are women who kill their kids.
Yeah.
There are women they're not a bad mom. They're ill, like leaving the babies, I don't know, like abandoning the baby and never coming back. My son's father made a joke about this shit. Like, we were talking about something, his mom and my mom and us two, we were all just like talking. And I don't know if y'all can probably attest to it. You, like, your memory is fucked up when you have a baby. And after, you can't remember, like, the simplest
They
stuff.
call it baby brain. Is that
And I
baby,
said something, and he was like, "Oh no, you don't." He said, like, it was so uncalled for. He was like, "Yeah, like, you don't remember you have, like, you're going through postpartum depression." I'm like, why to me it was tough, but I never had the thought like to harm my baby. But what if that was the case? I wouldn't have told you because you're joking about this shit. And like, what if that was what sent me over the edge?
no, little things like that can send
Seriously, like,
Yo, I be like, oh my God. When I first had my baby, I was like, ooh, what if I drop her? Oh my God. Like, sometimes it would scare me. Like, oh my God. Like, I got this little person I have to take care of. Like, I got to make sure she don't, And, it's crazy. My last 2 kids, my 9-year-old used to pick up her sister. Like, one time I went to the bathroom and she's coming out the room like, "Mommy, she's crying." I'm like, oh my God.
but you can't yell, right?
Yeah, you can't
So
do
scary.
nothing. Yeah, it's just like, oh, okay, thank you, baby. Like, give it to
That
give
was
it to
good
mommy.
you had that awareness because I would
Yeah,
have lost it
like-
because I'm not a mother. I would have been like, yo, put the... And
So,
I would have scared her.
Right.
No. But listen, it happens. It's just like.
Why do you think they talk about it after but not before? Do we know why? Like,
I don't know.
that doesn't make sense. I can see if you don't talk about it at all.
And for me, a lot of the times, like, as you do your research and as you like I said, my son was born in 2019. I got Instagram, like, all these pages.
That's why I don't
have
understand
all
why
of this
it's not talked about if you had your baby the other day.
But right.
Where
but
we have this
it's
language.
like, if you don't, a lot of times, if you don't ask, it's not, like, with not just that. They don't, exactly. If you don't ask, they don't really mention it to you unless it's something that you, like, it's common, I would say. But that, I feel like, maybe it's like, I don't want to scare you, but it truly should be said, like, these are some of the things that you could look for. I feel like if people were more well versed, they could have seen it before. Like, my mom didn't experience. She has 2 kids. She didn't experience these things. She didn't know what it looked like.
Yeah.
You have to talk about it. So even if you don't know, or you're so like stuck in yourself, the people around you can like try to get you help, or like can see that you're suffering. Because a lot of times you can't even talk. Like you said, you can't even talk about it.
Yeah,
I would
and
be
you
scared
don't. Some
to.
people don't want you to look at them a certain way or be like,
Yeah, because don't it affects everybody differently, right?
Yeah.
Your mic, Mom.
It affects everybody
Yeah.
differently,
Differently,
right?
yeah.
You know, when I had my son, like, that was something you definitely didn't hear about, because I don't know, I never really heard it until years later. You start hearing like, oh, such and such is suffering. It's like, wow, like, really, because I never heard it.
I feel like it's Auntie Stuff is extra pro-black. Everything is about race, but I feel like because I'm not a mom, again, I'm not sure. I really feel like it goes in the same family as therapy with black people.
Black people don't.
You're
go
not
to
going to
therapy.
talk about postpartum depression because you don't want to be judged. You don't want to get committed. You don't want them to take your baby. So I'm going to try to deal with this. Or ain't nothing wrong with you. Do y'all think it has anything to do with us being black women?
I think a lot of it comes from your home. And how you was raised. And you know, one thing about black people, you can't be black people saying what's stay in this house, what happened in this house, stay in this house. And we get so conditioned to that, so we can't even talk to the people in the house. You know what I'm saying? But I definitely feel it goes back to, you know, your house and how you was raised. Because I know, like, when I was coming up, we could tell my mom anything, everything. I don't care if it was sex. She made us said, you crazy, you gonna get AIDS. That's what we had in our house, you know. But I had a lot of girlfriends that couldn't talk to their parents. And, you know, you would hear them say, and I'm talking when I'm like 14, 15, like, oh no, my mom or my dad said, we'll go on this house, stay in this house. And sometimes, like, it like kills your insides, because it's like you don't know how to free yourself. You're holding yourself hostage.
Right.
A testimony.
You can even talk about something as minute as like, oh, liking a boy at school or something like that. So why would I open my mouth and tell you, even like at this big age, why would I open my mouth and tell you?
Now that y'all are parents, right? So you know how you said your mother said you could talk to us about anything. I don't know if we believe that as children. Like, you say that, like, come here, I ain't gonna hit you. You know,
I think that's different. I think that's different, and the only reason why I say that, because, like, even with that, we never went through in my mother's house, come here, I'm not gonna hit you, and then hit you. We went through, bring your ass over here, and I'm gonna bust your ass. And you got your ass whooped.
You knew that. I wasn't.
You know what? Right.
Not tricking
My
you.
mom didn't sugarcoat that type of stuff. So when my mom said something, you knew if you was getting fucked up or you wasn't getting fucked up. It wasn't no in-betweens in the house I grew up in.
But our house was truly one of those homes where say what you gotta say. Like, we were free to have opinions. We were free to say, I don't really want to do this. I don't like doing this. Like, we could talk about whatever. So, and I feel like I never had to wonder, like, how my mom or my dad was going to look at me because I did something. Or I never felt like they weren't going to be on my side. I feel like a lot of kids feel like their parent isn't their ally. Like, I had one teacher who gave me trouble in school. And off the bat, my mama was like, she needs to call me. Like, we're going to sit down and figure this out. My mama never said, well, what did you do? Were you doing da-da-da? You know what I'm saying? Like, I always felt like she was on my side. And I do want my kid to feel like If you can't talk to me, who you supposed to talk to?
But not only that, when you're a parent and you have a child or children, you know your children. You know what I'm saying? I know with my son, even at his age, you can come and say to me he did such and such 9 times out of 10. I can tell you if he did it or
You
not.
know.
You know what I'm saying? Because I always instilled in him, like, I don't care what, it's me and you. Even though I had him at 16, not only he was my son, he was my brother.
Yeah.
Sometimes
Y'all
he
grew
was
up
my
together.
father. You know what I'm saying? The uncle. He played all parts just like I played with him. Because, you know, we grew up together. But I know him, like, I think a lot of it is knowing your child.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because certain things you could have said to my mother, I seen Devona outside and Devona was cussing at this adult. My mother would have told you, no, Devona didn't do that. But if you said, oh, I seen Devona and she was ready to fight this grown lady, and my mother would have been like, oh, that was definitely fucking Devona. You know what I'm saying? So I just think when we know our children, we don't have to go through, oh, did you this, did you that? Because I always told my son, look, right or wrong, I'm going to stand beside you, but I'm going to let you know your ass was wrong if you was wrong. And just because I'm saying you wrong, it don't mean I don't got your back, but you damn sure going to answer to me when this is done.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Because you can't just take everything they say for what it is.
Absolutely not.
You can't. And you can't, like, this kid is running all over you, or he has no fear because my mama gonna believe I didn't do it.
It sounds like a fine line.
I was about to say, you have to have a balance between. I know everybody's like, oh, I'm not one of your little
Not
friends.
my baby. No, you know what I think the fine line is? Oh, not my baby. But that one time, it was your baby.
And I think that's
there's-
what knowing your child too.
Yeah, but I think the fine line is, I'm not one of your little friends, but you can't be a dictator. You can't, like, this relation, like, your child needs to know that you're a person too.
But I think it comes with, too, no disrespect, but let me tell you what I find with my generation and your generation. I'm a mother. Not saying you're not a mother, but with my son, I don't want to be your friend. I'm your mother. I think with the generation today, y'all come up, a lot of females bring their children up as friends. Even though you have that mother there with my son growing up, it was like, boy, don't play with me.
Yeah,
No, we ain't doing such and such. I'm your mom.
I'm not saying friends like I'm talking to you, drinking, smoking with you like I would a friend. I'm saying, like, he has to know that this is not, like, you're not my probation officer. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you're a
Property.
Right. I'm not your property. I'm a person. I have emotions. I hear you. I, like, you know what I'm saying? A lot of times with the older generation, is what I say goes. There's no wiggle room for your emotions. You have no opinion. You know what I'm saying?
I get
Like,
what you're saying, but again, I think it goes back to the household that the mother was raised in. Because with my son, he always had an opinion. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times, girl, I didn't like his fucking opinion. But I gave it to him.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I never was that mom, even to this day. Like, and I do it with my grandchildren. You know, you can come to me and talk to me about anything. And you know, my oldest grandson, he comes to me quicker than he do his mom and dad.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I always tell him, like, I did a lot. You know, I'm 54 years old. I did a lot. And I'm not ashamed of nothing I did. But in the same time of me doing, I want you to be able to come to me, because one thing that I learned, we never get different results. We get the same. It may be sooner or later, but we definitely get them. So, you know, even with my grandson, that's a problem that me and his dad would get into it about, because it's like, where did you get that from? I always gave you opinion. How do you not give him one? You know what I'm saying? Whether I thought you was right or wrong, I heard you. I don't care what the situation is. It could have been the teacher. It could have been the police. It could have been whoever. No. Okay, I heard you. Now let me hear my son. You know what I'm saying? So with my grandson, I used to tell my son all the time, I get you the dad. You know, and it may be certain things that I did that you may say, no, I'm not going to do with my son. You know what I'm saying? Because it's things that my mom did. I definitely didn't do with my son. But, you know, me and my son used to have that conflict on the regular, like, how do he not have a fucking voice? Like, I gave you a fucking voice. Like, so what? He's your son. He's human. He's going to make mistakes along the way, just like you did. You know what I'm saying?
He's trying to be a dictator, or he just trying to overcompensate and make him not make the same mistakes that he did? I think, in my opinion, as someone's child, I feel like some parents, I'm just going to say it, it sounds harsh.
Say it.
Get off on having another human to control. Like, you will be a dictator towards your child, but you won't even correct your supervisor for mispronouncing
This is
your
the
name.
only place that you have reign over somebody else, because you don't have it at work.
This is absolutely the truth. I'm sorry. And I've witnessed that with people who I know as parents. Like, they have no control over anything in their life. But the children, you gonna beat these little motherfuckers down to a T because that's the only people you can control. But on your side, I'm gonna tell you, y'all not the same grandparents that y'all not listen, my mother, I asked my mother if I could go to the store and buy a freaking juice. She'd be like, no, hell no, sit your ass. Now, my daughter, my nieces, my nephew, they go right into her purse. Grandma, give me $5 because I'm thirsty. I want to go to the store. Here, go to the store. And can you get me a soda too? Thank you so much. Like, I said, wow.
So you think the grandparents are
No, they're very different. Like, I see my mother, and I'm just saying this because I'm sure I know this is the way you are. You don't even have to say that. Because you don't have to say nothing because I know that this is how you are as a grandparent. Like, your grandchildren are so special to you that you don't care. My mother will wake up in the morning and be like, oh, it's Tuesday. Let me go get those kids breakfast. Oh, I'm not going to make it. They're going to want McDonald's this morning. Let me go down to McDonald's and get them seven McDonald's breakfasts. I'm like, McDonald's for me was on a Saturday. My father used to have us once a month in the backseat. He's smoking weed. You know what I'm saying? His friends is in the seat. Me and my cousins in the back like, damn, we just want to get to McDonald's now. Can we? It was not like an everyday thing, but this is how grandparents are, and I'm not even faulting you, but I know that because even my daughter was like, oh yeah, I want to go to grandma's. Like, I gotta tell her something real. She's like, want to tell her? I'm like, why? You could tell me anything. No, I'm just gonna talk to grandma about it.
With the voice.
It's the voice. It's the everything. I'm like, what is grandma saying to you? But it's because you're not the same parent who I grew up with. When I'm telling you I'm having some issues and you want to kick down my door and do all that.
Ain't nothing wrong with you.
Yeah, like.
But you ever stop to think when your mom was having you, because a manual don't come with this.
Yes.
So she was learning along the way.
Right.
Now, by you having children, we done got a little more knowledge on a lot. And it's a lot of things that we felt.
Absolutely.
That we did with y'all that we wouldn't do with our grandchildren.
Oh,
but
like
it don't mean, it don't mean they don't pay a consequence if they mess up. You know what I'm saying?
I've never thought about that. That was a perfect way to look at it. Thank you. I never thought about it.
When you're raising your kids, it's you doing it. You're in the midst of taking them to practice, doing homework. You don't get to watch from the sidelines. So you don't really see your kid grow up because you're like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're so involved that you're missing it at the same time. So with Aiden, she's like, this is my chance. Like, look at him. Like, I can see it, number one. And another thing is, like, wow, I love my kids so much. And something that I love made another thing, like.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, so it's like, I don't know.
You're absolutely right. And you know what, though? Another thing, too, is that a lot of things come, with age comes wisdom. Like, things that you.
Knowledge.
Yeah, it's like things that you were doing, like, 5 years, even a year can change a person so drastically. So just imagine all these years between you and your actual grandchildren, all the stuff that you've learned as opposed to when you were raising your own child. So it makes sense. Okay, I get it.
Come
I
on,
get it.
light bulb.
Right, yeah, that's what it is. Okay.
Yeah, it's a lot of things that I did with my son. Would I go back and change it? No.
They say hindsight's 20/20.
But could I have done things differently? Absolutely. But I also learned from things that I showed and did with my son like I would never show and do with my grandchildren. But at the same time, I'm not going to lie to them. You know what I'm saying? I don't care what it is, whether it's the street life, not being in the streets. I'm not going to lie. I remember back in 2005, I went to jail. I had to do a year. And at the time, my son was in jail doing 3 years in Plymouth. I was in New Hampshire doing a year, and his father was in jail in Tacoma, Washington, doing 6 months. So this is my first time ever being locked up, and it's like I'm so used to taking care of my son and making sure my son good, and he's locked up, but now I'm holding his 2 sons down. So for me to get locked up, it's like everything hits me like a pound of bricks, like, oh shit, who's gonna be there for my son in here? Who's gonna hold my grandchildren down? You know what I'm saying? What are they telling my grandkids? Like, where the fuck do my grandkids think I'm at? You know what I'm saying? Right. I'm writing my son like, damn, I know I'm fucked up and blood. And he writes me back like, are you serious? Like, you don't got too many mothers that can take care of their child from their jail cell. And then he was like, you're a born mother. And he was like, I wouldn't change you for nothing. And then when I come home and my oldest grandson, because me and him was the tightest, I kept him every weekend from a week old until he got into girls at 14. You know what I'm saying? So when I came home and my grandson was like, Nana, you was on a boat cruise for a long time. Yo, I just bust out laughing like, thank you, God. They didn't tell him I was in jail. But then my grandson is 21, and 5 years ago, he came to me and was like, Nana, me and my mom was talking, and Nana, you ever been locked up? I was like, well, damn, what was y'all talking about?
How did it come up?
They was that.
Right.
Like, niggas all like, y'all bringing up all this old shit.
Talking about old shit.
Shit,
They were trying to leave it in the past.
Why the grandma said something about somebody was locked up?
So then, though, I just really kicked it to him and told him, like, yeah, I was. And I told him, like, what I don't want you to do is make the same mistakes I made, your father made. You know what I'm saying? Don't do them, because when I turned my life around, because I was on drugs, I was on it all. I did it all. And when I turned my life around, now I'm like, yo, I'm going to be this bomb-ass mother to my son, because I thought long I was dressing him, keeping him fly, and him having money in his... I thought I was the shit. But what I didn't realize was I wasn't giving my son that time. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, when I decided, like, yo, I'm a flip it, my son decides he want to get in the street. And it's like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, God, this was the plan? I get it right, and now I got to chase this motherfucker down? You know what I'm saying? But then it was like, with my grandson, it's like, it's easier to, even though I would kick it with my son, like, yo, listen, I'm telling you, don't play in these streets. I've been playing in these streets forever. These are the results you're going to get. I'm telling you, you're going to get them. I got him. This one got him. You may get him sooner or you may get later. Yo, it was like, Andre was like, yeah, man, blah. He always thought he was slick as shit. Like I thought I was slick as shit.
Right.
So it was like dealing with my son. It was like the male version of me.
Yeah.
So with my grandson, it was easy to sit down and say, yeah, Dre, I was locked up. This is what I was locked for. And please don't play in these streets because I had my share. Even though that was the first time and the last time I ever did time, I still had my share. Going back and forth to the jails with your father. It started with my son's father. Then it worked this way to my son, and I didn't want my grandchild to repeat that same cycle. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah, I'm gonna kick it with you. I'm gonna be honest with you, but I'm gonna also let you know why you shouldn't do what I did.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because what I learned about a lot of us, like my age group, I find a lot of females, they're scared to tell their kids, like, yeah, I was on drugs. I'm not on drugs today, though. Fuck what I did 5 years ago.
That's what I'm
You
talking
know what
about.
I'm saying?
Yeah.
And,
Why do you think they're scared to you think they're gonna entice them?
I think a lot of them feel that their children will judge them because I have
feel that way
girlfriends now that I have one in particular came clean to her son and told him the truth, and he still walks around with an attitude with this slick ass coming out his mouth where for me it couldn't be me. But at the same time, you kind of understand why some parents want to leave what they did in the past. But then it's like you want to tell your child because, you don't want to watch your child walk that same path you walked.
So you think that because this mother came clean that this child is using it like emotional hostage?
I think he's using it as a fucking excuse to do what he want to do.
Like you did it. Kind of
Right.
thing?
Yeah, that's what I felt.
That's what I was trying to say
Some
about
people think like that.
about presenting yourself as a human to your kids. Like it was necessary, I feel, to talk about it. But I think maybe the older generation is very strict with boundaries. I think maybe it's a boundary thing. Like, you don't need to know what I was doing when I was 20. You wasn't there. You didn't know me when I was 20. You know me now and I'm 50.
Shooting in the gym.
Right.
But again, I think it goes back to the household that you was raised in.
Right.
For me, I think everything always fall back to that house you grew up in and what your upbringing was. You know what I'm saying? Because at my mother's house, you didn't hold it in. You let what you was feeling out. You may not have liked how it came out, but I can't leave this bottled in. You know what I'm saying? So I think a lot of it stemmed from how you was raised, the household you was in, and who was that village that kept you grounded and tried to keep you on the right path. For me, I grew up in the projects. You know what I'm saying? And there was a lot of people that be like, I'm telling Louise, I see you, Devona. And you'd be like, what? But then you hear a lot of people today say, like, no, you can't say nothing to these kids. You can't say today, oh, I'm telling your mother, because the kids today is like F you, blah, blah, blah. One thing that I learned when I was growing up, whether you hustle, whatever your hustle was, whether you got high, whatever it was, whether you got out here and you walked with that hardware, whatever it was, what we had growing up was respect. Respect went a long ways in these streets. It didn't matter what you did. Today, it's no respect out there.
Absolutely.
That's kind of true.
Yeah,
Well,
you're right.
I agree.
And I'm even going to build up on that one. Ms. Devona, I really appreciate you saying that, how you dressed your kid and you thought all of that, but you weren't spending the time. And I think that is, for me, I can say that personally, like, I definitely try to spend time with my daughter, but I know I could spend more time with her. Even like today is Saturday. She 8:00 this morning, she's like, I'm going to the mall with my friends. I said, oh, well, forget any plans I had. But you're absolutely right. But even to build off that, the respect is not there. Like, my sister could attest for this too. We lived in a house where my grandmother bought the house, and my grandmother had 6 children, and 6 children lived in her 6 children, and their spouses lived in that same house. in the end of the day, when we were trying to do things, like I was like young, trying to go to a party, stuff like that, my mother would say yes, and my grandmother would be like no, and that was it. I couldn't go to no party because she said no on it, right?
Oh.
Like, so now, when we all started getting older, the aunts and uncles and my mother, they moved into their own house. That now the rules kind of changed because my grandmother isn't in charge anymore. You know what I'm saying? But you're absolutely right. That respect, we wouldn't even. My grandmother would entertain people like every Sunday. Her friends would come over. My grandmother is like saint, and she doesn't drink, she doesn't smoke, she doesn't do anything. Her friends would come over, smoke cigarettes, smoke weed, drink all. She would have drinks for them. The only thing she would do is cook. And her friends used to come over there every Sunday, chill out. We used to be like, oh yeah, you can't go in the kitchen because the motherfuckers,
Absolutely.
all motherfuckers is there.
Absolutely.
They drink. You know what I'm saying? It's all the respect
Only time
level.
you come in was they want you to wine or dance.
Well, yeah, want you to entertain them, take out some food, get some cake, get some ice cream for them.
But
That
you know,
was it. Get the
also
drinks.
today, like, I find that's different. Like, when I was coming up, we were so conditioned. If my father had company or my mother, we could be sitting in the living room. We knew to get up, go in the room. They had company. With my son coming up, I didn't allow my son neither to sit up under me and my friends.
Exactly.
So today, when you see a lot of females from 21 to, let's say, 40, it's okay that their child is up at 9, 10 o'clock at night, sitting up under their girlfriend's bed,
Listening.
smoking weed, they're drinking.
Listening.
And then you're mad, though. You're mad when you out in the street and your child done repeated some shit that she done heard one of your girlfriends say.
Exactly.
Now you're mad, you're embarrassed. But when your child, who is 10 and under, sitting up under you and your girlfriend, and she's laughing and talking, or he laughing and talking like they're grown, it's funny then. It's cute.
Exactly.
It can't be both. It can't only be funny and cute in the house. And when you
mad.
get in
You
the
know how
streets,
many
you're
times
mad.
I be talking to my sister and I have to tell both my girls, get out. Nah, y'all can't listen to this. Go. Get
Right.
out. Get out. Why you talking like that? Nah, no. Get out. Why you
Right.
in here? Like,
no,
some people.
That is absolutely a thing. The only thing I can say is that, so my daughter, she just want to be in her room playing her game, money for her Roblox, begging her grandmother for money, want to do some little stupid job to make some money. Oh, do you need somebody to sit, grandma? I can sit and watch her if you pay me. But all she want to do is play her game. She ain't really trying to be up in my business like that. But there's been plenty of times. No, there's been plenty of times. Like, my sister and I, we went to a trip to visit my girlfriend. She lives in Atlanta, and it was like a cool time. So it's like all of us. Like, my girlfriend was like a little older than me, you know what I'm saying? And then we had our other cousin with us. So it was like, just take us. All of us right now, if we went to a girls trip,
Right.
and you brought your baby, and your baby is 12 years old. Your baby's 13. So we're all going places. And I was like, this is kind of weird.
Right.
We're drinking.
This
We're
ain't
having a
a
good
thing,
time.
like-
Why is this little 12-year-old girl with us? And she's
Exactly.
like, ooh, you wearing that? That looks, ooh, I don't like
The
how
child?
Yeah, the child is
Oh, yeah, no.
She's like, oh, your hair look, you can do your hair better. You need to do your edges. Like, I was like, wait,
And
what?
you can tell that that's the norm for that kid.
That wasn't
Like,
her
you far
first
too
time.
comfortable talking to me like that.
That wasn't her first. That's exactly what it was. That's what she
And
does
then what
all
do
the
you
time.
do?
Like,
Because now we're in the 2000s.
I can't
what
say
do you
nothing to your
do?
child,
Right.
'cause it ain't
Do you
mine.
say, oh no, go in the other room, but you can't, but you can?
Well, you
because
can't
that's
really
your
say that
friend's
because
kids?
I'm in her
Should
house.
Be able to
should
say
be
it
able
when
to.
you're
Should
the
be.
parent and you're the head of household. You should be able to say it, but you can't get mad when this kid say to you, well, it's been cool all this long. Why
These
it ain't
12
cool
years.
now?
Yeah,
Right.
but I don't think that the mother was offended. I think that all of us were offended by it, but the mother wasn't.
Right, because
Yeah,
this is
that's
what
her
they
norm.
do.
Yeah, that was
This
her
is
norm.
where I was saying earlier, some parents get confused with parenting and being cool with your kid. It's cool to be cool. Believe it or not, me and my son, I'm telling you, we're like sisters and brothers. But at he'll be 38 and I'll be 54, he know how far to go.
Right.
I'm about to say, and that too is because you had him at 16, so y'all grew up together. And then at some point, it was like, boop, let me tell you something. I'm your mother.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? And it was
And
cool.
yes,
It was
exactly.
cool at a point.
But some
then,
people never differentiate.
that.
Exactly.
Yes.
Do
This
you
whole
think that
time.
mother would have been in her feelings if you'd have been like, okay, Miss Mamas, you got to go, or you know what I'm saying? Like any way
Would
you would
your
have checked
friend
it
have felt some type of way?
if
Had you corrected her
intervened.
child?
I think she would have felt some type of way. And then actually after that whole trip where we went on, we like never spoke again because it was just so awkward. She was her.
She was a hater. She was a hater.
Tell her, beloved.
She was a hater. The whole trip was a shit show. She was the hater, and her daughter was just too fucking much. And
But you know what? You
just
can't
let that
even-
where it was too grown. And
She was behaving the way that her mother let her. So it's like a fine line again, where you have these children that you can't correct because their parents are like, "Oh, don't say that to my kid." But then at the same time, you can't fault the child
Absolutely.
because the mother allows
Exactly.
it. But
That's
then
how-
at the same time,
Exactly.
you can't fault it. Like, it's weird because you can't fault the child even though the child is displaying these negative behaviors.
But then, also, that's the kid that will tell you at 18, you never acted like my mother.
How you gonna
And-
sit here and tell me what to do and you never did this before?
And now you hurt. What is you hurt for?
That's what you did.
Yeah.
Exactly. You did this.
And I think that's a lot for parents. I think when our children is younger, some parents, because it wasn't me. I think when our children is younger, we don't look at the things that we can give our kids to say. Like a perfect example, I took my son places. I did things with him because, like I said, I was that mother that I thought, long he was fly and had some money in his pocket, I thought I was the bomb. But then when my head clear and I won't no longer on drugs, and it's like, he's fly, he got money, but I'm not putting that time in.
Yes.
So when my son get older, like, I wanted my son to be able to say to his kids, like, man, I remember when my mom took me such and such.
Exactly.
I didn't want my son to be that kid saying, I was fly, but nah, we really didn't do nothing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because
Yes.
my mom and my dad, every summer we was out of here. We did something. We went on trips. We did this. We did that. So I wanted my son to have that family value.
Right.
When I get my children, me and my kids, we're going to trip down the highway. We're going to,
Right.
go on vacation. Today, you hear a lot of, girl, we did a girls trip, girl.
Exactly.
Girl,
Where
we
was your
went
baby
there.
at?
Hold on, you ain't lying.
And then,
First of all,
and then when you say, when the last time you took the kids on the trip, they're salty.
They
They
deserve
feel disrespected.
experiences too.
man, listen.
I'm gonna really touch on that one too. Go ahead, Lily.
Listen, I'd be like, okay, girls trip for me, then my kids, and then girls trip. Listen, I be feeling so bad when I'm on the girls trip. I be like, damn, look at these kids and their parents. Like, nah. All right, so the next trip, listen, I have the next trip planned. My baby girl has her bag packed. My sister can tell you this, okay? Like,
It's
Oh,
good.
auntie.
And that's another
Like-
good thing you touched on is you guys are mothers, but you're also women. So you got to alternate between being a
Absolutely.
human woman,
Yes.
Woman.
and a
And
mother.
that's hard. That I will say that is hard because, like we were talking about earlier, you are wired totally different. You're not who you were anymore. A lot of times you get stuck in, I have to feed the baby, gotta put the baby down, you have literally no time
What you mean
to.
when you say you get stuck? Because, that's just the shit that comes with it.
No, I'm
Yeah.
saying you get stuck as in like mentally you forget about yourself. I mean, like you get stuck.
You mean like you lose yourself into this?
Yes, you get stuck in the headspace that, and it is about your kids. But how can I successfully raise this person, and I wasn't healthy here? I wasn't healthy here. I wasn't. How can I raise a happy baby and all he sees is me walking around sulking? I'm not handling myself.
I think that you are. I mean, you have to be healthy in everything in moderation. You have to be healthy in all ways to actually raise a child. But I'm gonna just be honest. Like a couple of weeks ago, me and my girlfriends went to Jamaica, and it was like a girls' trip. It was wonderful, absolutely awesome experience. And I'm like, this is like I've been to Jamaica a couple times before, but I was just like, I could have been here. I felt bad actually going here without my child, knowing, and I'm like, Nadira, there's no reason for you to feel bad. Number one, you've been in the house 365 days. Like, you need a vacation. It's okay for you to actually go and do this without your child.
As mothers, we should never feel guilty about taking care of us.
Yeah,
but I think we also have to realize too, like, we want to instill certain things into our children. So as they get older, they can carry something over into their family.
Right.
You know
Absolutely.
But a lot of times, you know, there's a double standard, and I don't know if we want to acknowledge it or not.
Ahead.
But you know, like men, for women, if we go out without our kids, we sitting at the nail salon. Damn, where the baby?
Where
at?
the kids at?
We like, you know,
Fuck those niggas. Fuck those niggas.
You know what I'm saying? But men, like,
Nah, they be going
don't
hard on
nobody
that
ever
shit
ask
though.
my baby daddy where the baby
Big
at.
dad,
'Cause he
no,
don't
for
fucking
real,
know.
you ain't lying.
Why you listen to them people?
Oh, no, I ain't listening. But I'm just saying, a lot of the time, tell me that's not true, though.
But you know
it's true, but nah. You take care of your baby. You wake up 65.
It's okay for me to go get my toes
Toes
scrubbed,
done.
though. Like,
Listen,
Yeah.
nobody should. They are not in your shoes. They don't wake up and be.
I'm talking about from sun up to sundown,
Yeah,
looking at this
they
baby.
don't do none of that. Like,
Yeah.
who cares what? I'm a firm believer in that. Who cares what anybody says?
You're not raising my
You
kid.
are not raising my kid. My kid is not out there doing all this extra shit. Don't worry about me. If I want to go out and this is like party, if I want to go out and enjoy my life, if I want to go out and get my nails done, my toes done,
Because
I'm
guess what?
allowed
My
to
kid
do
is,
that.
My kid is taken care of.
They're
My house
okay.
is
See,
taken
when you
care of.
know that, that's the stuff you don't entertain.
Right. But you
You
know
don't
that
even
everybody's not us.
Yeah, but
with wisdom thing. How you put that so simply, right?
But you know, everybody's not you. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I'll be mad. I want you to say shit.
you said what?
Where's
What?
I have to stop myself from doing that too. When I see my friends, these are my friends from a long time, Beloved and Lisa. and a couple of other mothers, when we go out, like, oh, how's the baby? Where they at? I really stop myself from doing that. I find it disrespectful because, like you said, you don't ask the father most of the time, oh, where's Junior at? Like,
But I be
He
asking
seen
the
Junior
father
in a week.
sometimes.
Shit,
Listen,
you don't know.
I see my friend. He had baby a couple days
holding
ago.
the mic.
No, because I had to do it. Because he thought he was. I said, yeah, I'm gonna do you just like how you be doing things. I seen him. He had a little baby. It was like 6 weeks. The baby was a baby. I seen him with the little small baby. It was like Sunday. We all chilling. I said, how you doing? Where's your baby at? Yeah, because that's what y'all would do to us. If we was outside 6 weeks after the baby was born, you were going to do the same thing
Niggas
to us.
is not sitting at the barber shop and the barber is like, where the baby
Yeah,
at?
I'm trimming your hair, asking where the baby's at. No, for real.
Definitely ain't gonna do that.
and they
Definitely
get,
not.
sorry, I love my black parents, mothers and fathers alike. But how about when the father gets like 10,000 cookies for putting their child hair in a ponytail?
You see what I'm saying?
Like, okay, you did something.
And we
you're
from the
supposed
old
to do.
school. My father
Prime
used to do it all the time.
example.
No, I'm saying, like, you did something you're supposed to do. Like,
Yes.
I get way too much praise
Way
for doing
for
something
the
that
bare
you're supposed to
minimum.
do.
Totally agree
The
with you.
part of the downfall with
seriously.
me, part of the downfall with me and my son's father was that I'm taking him to school, I'm picking him up, I'm making doctor's appointments. It's me. Why is it that on my off days, I have to ask you, why am I getting up to take him to school when you could have did it? I'm off. Let me sleep. And so I was explaining this to somebody at work, and she's like, "Oh, well, that's just how it is." That's not how it is.
It is.
no,
No, that's not
Let
how
me
it
ask
is.
you a question. In spite of you living with him while you was pregnant, did you discuss any of this? While I'm not at work, like, yo, you take the baby to school. Because the only reason why I ask, I feel like us as women, we put expectations on men. And the truth of the matter is, I think we have to get a lot of acceptances. This is the same motherfucker that he was when you was pregnant.
Absolutely no problem
did
telling.
you think having this baby?
We spoke about it because I have no problem.
But sometimes you gotta raise these men right with your kids.
Yeah, but I ain't nobody. I got one kid. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
like,
then either you gonna accept.
I learned that.
Because
I learned that.
we had this conversation, and I have no problem telling you what I need, especially like I said, because I was going through PPD. You have to talk about what you need. So we had this conversation, and I'm telling him, because how y'all was just talking about it, that's how I was raised. So we were raised very differently, but it was a conversation like, it's equal. I didn't make a baby by myself.
And I 100% agree with everything you said. And I know me being raised, I was raised in the house with my mom and dad until I was, I think, 12 when my mom and dad split up. But my dad still played a part in our life, 100%. But now, when I had my son, I was 16. His dad was 20. Now, mind you, I knew having my son, this was a whole ass nigga. Yo, I knew a lot of bullshit came with this nigga. You know what I'm saying? So, for me, even at 16, I didn't base shit on him.
Yeah, you got to be real.
It was all based.
Yes.
It was all based on me. But when I got my apartment and he moved in, I made very clear: either you gonna hold it down with me, or you gotta go.
Exactly.
Because my thing is, I had that dad that was like, Devona, I know you ain't letting him stay in there. He ain't buying no food.
Okay.
He ain't doing this. I had that brother that was like, yo, he ain't got a fucking job.
Right.
Like, where you get him from? So for me, it was easy to be like, nah, you got it this, you got it that. And my son father did all that. But when we split up,
that's
when everything just shifted.
Yes.
The 100% was on me.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? But I came from a family of women that was like, girl, you may be hurting, but you don't even let him know you hurting. Girl, you just keep on. And girl, I was hurting for 2 years. Hurting, but I kept going. Even when me and my son father separated, I was 28 years old. I was with him from the time I was 14 until I was 28. So when we split up, shit, I was kind of lost because that was all I knew.
Right. From a child.
But then when them 2 years was out my system, listen, it was like, yo, we're going to continue to run this fucking train without him, and this is what we doing, and that's that. I never, to this day, and my son will be 38 years old, never asked his father for one dime.
Yeah.
Nothing.
You know what?
But that's old school, too.
I really am like, and this is like me asking you this, because his father has an issue balancing financial support and physical support. You know what I mean? Like, he thinks if I buy him stuff, that's good,
So
and then vice versa. So my thing is, I struggle with, do I tell him the baby needs diapers? Like, my struggle is,
let me ask
should
you
I
something.
tell him?
When y'all was getting it in, did you have any problem with letting them know it was gay?
No, but this is what.
So should you? Why do you even got a question?
Well, no, let me tell you why.
Should you ask him?
No. It's
to
not
get
like
pampered?
should I like. My thing is should I have to ask you? You know he exists, or do I just say fuck it? You know he exists. I'm not asking you nothing.
No, and let me say that was the attitude I had. You know what I'm saying? That was my attitude. I'm not asking for nothing. Blah blah blah. And honestly, with that, I felt like I wish I would have did that different. And one thing that I found out about a lot of men when you talk to them, the first thing you hear, and I'm talking my generation and also yours, the one thing that you hear is, I didn't feel needed there. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
I have heard that from men, and I'm talking different ages. I think sometimes we're so used to, as Ayana say, being the man in a dress.
Come on now, preach it. You know that's my girl.
So sometimes, let's just be that woman. You know what I'm saying? And put that dress on. And it's okay to be like, look, you need the X, Y, Z. You know what I'm saying? You know I didn't do this by myself. Sometimes when, I know for me, like, when I remember the first time me and my son father broke up, and I seen him for the first time. I almost died when I seen him with a chick. The inside of me was like, this fucking bitch is with my fucking man. But when I went to say something, he was like, oh, Devona, F you. You didn't want me. You left me. Now you mad. And it's like, damn, they're my facts. But I had my reason. But it still hurt it.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? It still hurt it. But at the same time, I understood when we talked about this 10 years ago. And me being in a better space, being more mature, and knowing I'm a firm believer when you know better, you do better. So knowing what I know now, I wish I would have, because he have made clear to me numerous times, like, you made me feel like you didn't need me. You know, I thought you was the man and the woman. You know what I'm
How about
saying?
that fine line?
So, you know, when he first used to say it, it was like, oh, fuck you, Andre. But no, as I got older and we really sat down as two adults and had this conversation, I got it. And that's why I'm telling you, like, don't do what I did. Don't walk around. And, you know, today you hear a lot of females, to me, that men bash. And, you know, all you hear is, fuck that nigga. Girl, them type of chicks you don't need to be around.
Right.
That's just my point of
Right.
view. You don't need to be around them. You need to be around women saying, look, I get it. Even though you and him ain't together, that's still your son's father.
Right.
Or your daughter's father. Yo, you need to work with this man. You don't want your daughter or your son coming up thinking this is what it is.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So what I'm going to say to you is don't do what I did. Because me doing that, I'm going to keep it a buck with you. Me and my son father ain't been together since he was 9. And you would think we would be the bestest friends and go like, I'd be so jealous sometime when I hear my girlfriend saying, yo, I was on the phone with such and such father. And, girl, he's crazy. And, yo, they're cool now. And,
Yeah.
and it's like, well, my son father, you know, I'm still on the fuck you, Devona. You know what I'm saying?
Really?
My son will be 38 years old.
Right.
You understand why can't we be cool? Yo, what is we arguing about?
Right.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But at the same time, he get his moments where he'll call me like, what's up, D? I appreciate you being my son, mother. I respect you. Yo, I'm glad you made my son the man that he is. I don't take none of that credit. But 90% of the time, it's fuck you, Devona. You know,
For sure.
Even though I be
his dad.
on the phone like, whatever, Dre, like, my feelings, this nigga still can crush my feelings. You understand what I'm saying? It's like, how dare you talk to me like that? Or, and I'm the mother of your child. But what I learned is this. Sometimes people learn that they fucked up. And they can't get back
over
what
it.
they had.
Yeah.
And sometimes it just sits on the mind. So for some people, it's easy as out of sight, out of mind. You know what I'm saying? And I just think sometimes it's like, for me, it's like, damn, yo, my homegirl and her son father, they be on the phone kicking it like, I can't even call this dude like, what's up?
Right.
But listen, as you say that, that's absolutely right. But I think that takes. Listen, me and my son's father used to be.
You got a son?
Man,
You got a son?
My son, me and my son's father. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? My son too, him too. Right? No, me and my daughter's father used to be going, and just all of a sudden, like overnight, we just became cool where we could actually talk.
But that's good. How about my son to be 38?
Yeah, no.
When we broke up, he was 9. We still ain't at this point.
I feel you because I felt like it was always.
That's how I feel right now. It's gonna be that.
But at the same time, though. So I used to, you look up to your elders. I used to be asking my mother what she think I should do. Ask my grandmother what she think I should do. My grandma be like, yeah, don't put him on no child support because you could do that all by yourself. I said, yeah, okay. So I was rolling with that for a little bit. And then I'm like, I can do it all by myself, but why should I?
That's the question I was asking.
Yeah.
Because to me, it's not, I'm the big, like, I am the big dog because I'm raising this baby. But,
Yes.
but to me, it's not me trying to be the man in a dress. It's just, do I add, like, why should I have to? Because we had the baby, you were there,
No,
you know he exists,
should
why
actually.
should I have
You
to?
should, no, you should have to.
And then part of it is, it's like, do I or don't I? Like, why should, like, he exists, you were there, you seen him.
You are absolutely
it's
right.
nothing wrong with, my thing is this. You said it right. He know he exists. He know he's there. And I know if my daughter had a kid, and my daughter was working, had her own apartment, had it going on, doing whatever she got to do. Mm-hmm. And she had this kid with this man. And let's say, there's a space where this man ain't doing nothing. And she said, it ain't that she needs his money. Because if she came to me and was like, Mom, you think I should do child support? Absolutely. Absolutely. Because my thing is this. If me and you can't sit down and come to an agreement where this and that, don't tell me about you don't want the white man in our business.
Yo, that's my favorite. My favorite line.
You do, because, absolutely. I'm not going to lie. I would tell my daughter, get child support. And it's not that she needed. It's the point of just what you said. This is our kid together. Mm-hmm. So, seeing that I can't hold a conversation with you where we come to an agreement where, if it ain't nothing but every week I'll give you $50 or I'll buy some clothes or whatever.
But we tried it.
Well,
I tried it.
And
then
again,
this is where you need somebody to step in that you can believe you're going to get your money.
And this is
and
my
that's
favorite.
exactly what I did.
Yeah. No, my favorite thing to say is when me and you was talking and hooking up, wasn't no white man involved. Now that all that's over, now I got to get the white man involved for you to talk to me, for you to give me what I want. But the thing about it is, it's not even about you. You can do everything for yourself, but why should you have your child be left out because you don't want to do a simple, like, you don't want to put him on child support or look a certain way? I ain't with all that. Fuck that. No,
I wouldn't care about that either.
Yeah, and I think
that at the end of the night, I gotta make sure it's food on that table.
Exactly.
I gotta make sure
and you're damned if you do, and you're damned if you don't.
Right.
Exactly. I don't know if y'all talked about that when I stepped out. You're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. Because you, quote unquote, I'm doing air quotes, y'all can't see me, but, you chose this baby father, right?
You know what? Not to cut you off, but let me say this. I kind of agree. See, with me, I knew everything about my son father, so I knew what I was getting. So I kind of, and this is why I said don't do what I did. Because I kind of felt like, shit, I knew what I was getting. Right. I damn sure didn't go into this thinking I could change him. You know what I'm saying? I just love this man, and I wanted him to be my son father. He's my son father. It is what it is. But what I always promised myself was I won't gonna be that mom. I wanted all my kids by him, and that's why I only have one child. You know what I'm saying? Right. Because my biggest fear was having 2 kids. Here, my son father, he didn't hold my son down the way he should have or could have. But then my fear was getting with another man and he holding his daughter and his son down. And then it's got my son looking on like, damn, I didn't get that. You know what I'm saying? Right. So it was like a lot of that stuff weighed out. But I do believe that these are the choices that we make. You know what I'm saying? We chose them. But the truth of the matter is, you can go get a man off Wall Street. Yo, it don't mean
he ain't piece of shit.
Exactly.
He's a piece of shit. It don't matter where.
And that's the truth of the matter. She could have said it no better. Yeah. If he's a piece of shit, he's a piece of shit.
Right. Whether he got on a suit or he got on some jeans.
But then we got some good fathers, though.
Yes.
We got the mamas that's a piece of shit.
You're right.
And you got the fathers out here
trying,
knowing what we feel like now.
Yeah. Right.
Where they gotta raise this kid, and they're saying like, "Damn, she don't help me.
Yeah,
she don't this, she don't that, and I gotta do this taking care of his daughter." And he called me on the phone, and at first, like, it was kind of funny to me because it's like he was the first man I ever seen like really go through the shelters. Like, yo, I gotta get to the shelter before I get kicked out. You know what I'm saying? Till he's raising his daughter, till getting welfare, till damn. My check won't on my card. You know what I'm saying? To, yo, I'm finna take her for child support. To, yo, I really see what women go through today.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So, you know, we do got some fathers that step up just like us. Mm-hmm. And we be looking at these baby mamas, because I know I got a few baby mamas in my family that's like, bitch, you just embarrassing us. Like, you don't give a fuck. Like, just embarrass us.
Right.
But at the same time, my people gotta love them. But, girl, you know you wrong.
You know you doing wrong.
Right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, you know, I just think it's the choices that we make. And I think, you know, we have to know the choices that we make, show our children to make better choices.
Mm-hmm. A testimony.
And I'm going to say this, too, because it was a struggle that I had. And so I'm sure I'm not the only person who, like, have felt this way or will ever feel this way, because like I said, I was raised with my mother and my father. My parents were married my whole life until my father passed away. There would be days where, there would be days where my mama took us to practice and my daddy stayed home and cooked dinner, or vice versa, or my daddy was at dance recitals and football games.
And I think that's the coolest shit. I do.
Yes, when I say I'm a daddy's girl, I mean that. Like, I used to hate getting my hair done. My daddy would sit down and let me like clip barrettes in his hair until I was done, like that kind of daddy. And so I really, really, really wanted that for my son, to have two parents, because I know what it's like because from 11 to 8 or 11 to now, I was in a single parent home. I know the difference, and I really struggle with, like, we can get through this, like, we can fix this. And he's going to have two parents. And my mama broke it down to me like, he would be so much better off in a home with one happy parent versus two parents, and one of y'all is miserable.
Yes.
Like,
I say that all the time.
I was about to say that same
we'll
thing
stay
too.
together for the kids. At what point are you going to show your children? You're going to show your child that what you should accept less than just to have a two parent.
Not only that, half of the time your kids is out here having a good time and you sitting back like this motherfucker.
Right.
Here,
looking
like,
at this nigga, you ain't like him no more.
Right. I'm doing this shit and these little motherfuckers ain't even spending time together, nigga. He's outside.
Right.
This nigga's in here being a pain in my ass.
Exactly.
Making you get a babysitter and y'all still together.
I think just like how Ms. Devona was saying, I'm like, it's so different because old school, like, you were married really young and you had family, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're married, you had friggin' 10 children, you was 25, but and that was great, and it worked then, because guess what?
Right.
These people didn't really like each other, but they was married and they knew they had to stay
You know,
together.
like,
You know what I'm saying?
you know,
like,
They had to take care of them children.
They had to take care of them
put
children.
Food on the table, absolutely.
Yes. And everybody would have their differences, but they really weren't getting divorced and moving on like that. You know what I'm saying? But now, where we are now, and I feel you, because that's how I feel about my daughter. Like, yeah, I could have another child, but it's
Right.
I don't want to be dealing with all these people.
Right.
I'll be too much to deal with myself. Much less
I'm sick of myself.
Well, I've been making my own self sick.
I'm sick of our shit.
Listen, calling the police and I'm this party early. Then we gotta go home. Like, come on. You know what I'm saying? But you do try to make it work. And sometimes, like just like you're saying, like sometimes people grow up in these homes with two parents. Like you said, you grew up with two parents in your home, right? Like our parents didn't get divorced till I was like 13. So Lily was 9, something like that. But at
I
the
was
same
in my 30s.
when they got divorced.
But
No, when you were 12.
They were separated.
They wasn't
when
They wasn't living in the same house from 12. But again, my dad always played a part. So I can relate to what both of y'all are saying because I wanted my son also to have the father.
Yes,
Right.
Yes.
You know, I had that father. I don't know if y'all remember the movie theater. I know you don't. The Pie Alley. And, well, it used to be a movie theater downtown. That girl played 2 karate movies, $2.50 to get in. And girl, my dad was the dad. He came out doing karate with us. All the kids in the projects wanted to go to the movies with us.
Exactly.
On Saturday. So, you know, it was like, and my dad was that provider. I came from a home where my mom, the first time my mom had a job, my sister was 20.
And you're the
Because
oldest?
my dad, am I the oldest?
Yeah.
No, I'm in the middle.
Okay.
My brother's the oldest. My dad even took care of my mom.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it was like it didn't play out the way I thought it was going to play out with my son.
Exactly.
Because that's what I wanted.
What you knew in your mind. That's the only thing that you knew. But even for my mother, like I used to come home from school, it's like, wow, this is really great. I used to come home, my mother used to have dinner prep. She's making
Girl,
little
yes, sir.
Rice Krispie treats. I was like, wow.
Real
this is
June
like,
Cleaver
yo,
over here. Triple
right,
June Cleaver.
right. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, though, I just want to stress that you don't even need them two parents to make a great child.
Excuse me.
don't.
My parents were teenage parents as well. They were never together from I can remember. My parents had me when they were 16 and 17. And I had my parents equally in my life. I had the Kellys and the Kershaws equally in my life. I could not imagine my parents ever being together. Even though I loved them to death, they were equally in my life. So I'm not advocating for separated families. But you have to do what's best. You have to do what's best. And what's best was I spent half my time with the Kershaws and half my time with the Kellys. And my dad was also the one who used to take us to see Van Damme and Steven Seagal, all the kids. Like, everybody knew my dad. Everybody knew my mom.
Right.
Yep.
Shout out to my Uncle Billy. It's his birthday.
Oh, it is Uncle Billy. Your Uncle Billy, my dad's birthday. It's Auntie Nae's birthday. Shout out to both of them.
I'll take a walk up the street. Say happy birthday now. Come on now.
Up the street.
I'll take a walk up the street now. It's a ghetto here. Ooh, child.
Shout out Kill Bill. I know it's a Mother's Day podcast, but it's my dad's birthday.
Right.
Big time.
Yeah. Listen, I just want to stress again that if you're good at what you do, and we getting all this wisdom and light from this young lady right here that you don't need. Listen, for her to even say that, me and the baby dad don't be talking to each other, don't fuck with each other like that, but that didn't still call me and be like, yo, I appreciate everything you do for my child. You know what I'm saying? That's what we need to, even if we hate, don't like, whatever. At least you have something.
It's okay for stuff to not work out.
Right. But you can aspire to raising a good child and a child that the partner could say, yeah, I don't really fuck with her, but she did a good job with that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I hate them.
I did be wanting to punch her.
I punch her, but she did what she had to do with that. You know?
You're right.
Seriously.
You're right.
Big shout out, Mama D. I know
Yeah,
she don't
no,
like
for
it,
real.
but
That was
we
a
got
lot
the
of
elder
we appreciate
wisdom
that.
Yeah.
Beloved. You sleep?
I am, girl.
I'm hungry.
Looking like,
First of all, I'm hungry.
you better get some
And
chicken.
the drunkenness is wearing off, so I'm falling
Oh,
asleep.
you want some champagne? I'll pour some
No,
champagne for
I
y'all
don't want
mamas.
I want some food.
Anyway.
Okay, go ahead.
But you know, looking back, you know, it's like I wouldn't change nothing. And down to having my son at 16 to being out in these streets, getting out these streets, watching my son get in these streets, get out these streets. You know, I wouldn't change it at all. One thing that I learned when my mom died, like my mom used to coerce the shit out me because I think she had the most disrespectful fucking mouth I ever heard in my life. But
Disrespectful fucking mouth.
yo, them my
Shout out,
facts.
Ma.
But what I can say is that, one thing that my mom left us with was always be true to yourself.
Man, come
You
on
know,
now.
your truth is your truth. And, nobody can take that from you. You got to always be true to yourself because, see, I could lie to you, I could lie to this one, but at the end of the night, I can't lie to me.
Right.
So I think if, we could get women to come together more often and discuss certain issues because, the same way you may feel you learned something from me, I also learned something from y'all being here
Better
today.
testify.
You know what I'm saying? I just think that, us being women, we got to learn to come together and, learn to compliment each other, pull each other up. You know what I'm saying? It's just crazy today. Like, I know when I was growing up, I used to see a chick. I used to be like, yo, you're pretty. You know what I'm saying? Your outfit's
Oh, beloved
banging.
next to you? That's her favorite. Hey, pretty girl.
You know
Even
what
when
I'm
you're
saying?
ugly.
Even when you're unfortunate.
Today,
Unfortunate.
I would. It's, you look at the cloth that I came from and to hear the cloth that y'all on, it's like, wow, sometimes it's like, damn, really?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Big time different. Big time.
I think they hear like old school. There was like a lot of loyalty and trust. Like, listen,
you better
this is
say it.
this is our set right here, and nobody can cross it. We might be mad at each other today, but we still going out, and we still going out. And if anybody
Talk to you
jump,
later, bitch.
we, you know what I'm saying? We still together like that. But there's no loyalty like that in this day.
Like when she was speaking about everybody in the neighborhood knows.
Yeah.
These are Sonya's kids. I know these kids, and I know your mom, and I dare you to try me like that.
Yeah.
Now people, you just don't have that. You can't speak to other people. There's no like real community.
That's
but
because
you
they're
need
so
that.
disrespectful out here today.
Mm-hmm.
And then not only that, today you hear the parents say to their kids, "Oh, she better not say shit to you."
Yes.
And if she do, like it's like the
Right.
parents forget sometimes you're the kid and she's grown.
And the teachers,
You
too.
know what I'm saying?
Your kid could be getting all Fs. Don't say nothing to my baby. Like,
Yeah,
what do
it's
want
like
me to do?
Which one of us is gonna say something to the baby? Like,
right, like today, I don't know. It's like that's what makes it hard too for the village to step
Yes,
in
right.
and help raise the kids.
Right.
Because when you come from a house that's jacked up, 90% of the time, you just jack the fuck up because you only know what you're raised to know in this house. So if you're in the house and all you ever seen was your mom attitude jacked up, your dad's, what make you think your attitude ain't gonna be jacked
exactly.
Y'all listen. People are products of their environment, and that's
But
just
you know
what it is.
what?
All
And I
products of the
agree.
environment.
I agree. And but at a certain point, that can no longer be your excuse.
You can't, right? You can't
up? That's where I was
It's
going
your
next.
responsibility
to fix it.
Exactly. Because like me and you could come from the same household. I might act just like these people, and you use them as a reason to not
change.
be
Yes.
this way. At a certain point, like,
I feel
I'm
like
sorry
to be
that happened to
responsible
you.
for yourself.
Exactly. But
I've
you
seen-
got to fix it.
So what's the point? Because I feel like at 30 years old, you need to leave everything that happened to you. Like your mother could have abused you, and yes, it's a hard thing to get over. But at a certain time, you got to be like, okay.
30, I feel like is gracious.
Is
And
it?
see,
Really?
this is,
I like that. Thank you.
I think when I got about 35, I had to accept this is who she is. You know what I'm saying? This is my mom. This is who she is. I'm a lover regardless. You know what I'm saying? It ain't a thing where, my mom was fucking us up. her mouth was just off the hook.
Right.
But with her mouth being off the hook, it taught me and my
I was say,
sister.
did not prepare you in some.
It taught me and my sister we weren't gonna be off the hook
Exactly.
with our child.
Exactly.
You know, I come from the type of household, my mother didn't have a problem with saying, bitch, the motherfucking dishes ain't done. With my son, I never, ever called my son out his name but one time in 37 years. And it bothered me. It bothered me so bad. And then on top of calling him out his name, I didn't speak to him for like 3 months.
Oh, wow.
And girl, when I say I felt like, yo, something was missing because we never ever went through that. But at the same time, I will not allow my child to think, grown and all, you grown and I'm going to respect you as a grown man. But what you going to always do is respect me, not just as your mother, but as the woman that I am. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I couldn't, certain things I just learned from my mom, like, yo, I'm not going to let that shit spill over into my household. Because one thing you said, when you become a certain age, when you know better, you do better. We ain't going to use mom as an excuse why
Exactly.
I'm steady saying this and that.
Exactly.
Boo. You
This
done
is your
fell down,
responsibility
brush your ass
now.
off, and let's do this right.
Mama D, I appreciate you saying that because some people feel like when you try to quote unquote break generational curses, or if you speak on how your mother could have done something different, that you're disrespecting your mother. I feel like you are not disrespecting your mother just by saying that she did things differently because she didn't know better. So she could not do better.
Exactly.
So now I can say that some things that my mom did or said was not what's up, but I'm not disrespecting her motherhood.
Right.
I still love her.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So I think we have to, as not just women, but people, especially black people, we have to get away from not speaking out because we're disrespecting our parents. They just did things differently because they didn't know any better, and that's not an excuse. But you just got to be comfortable with bettering yourself and knowing that you're not disrespecting your elders at the same time.
Absolutely, but I also feel like when we don't put expectations on people, for me, I feel like it saves the being pissed and being angry. When you learn to accept a person for who they are, that means you accept what comes with them. I think when you put expectations, you doing a little. I tell anybody, I told my son, and I remember Andre was like, what you mean? I said, don't put damn expectations on me. I said, I'm human. I fuck up just like anybody else do. Right. Don't put them on me. Because sometimes when we put expectation on people, we setting ourselves up to be mad.
Right.
So
because
I learned,
you had this idea in your head. I never told you I was going to do that.
Wait. I learned about, I'm 54, I want to say about 24 years ago. I ain't putting no expectations on nobody. Because I'm always somewhere mad.
After my girl's father, I put so much expectations. But, it took me a long time to realize, like, oh, he's not that nigga. Like, sorry, y'all. Like, I put in stuff, and my sister can side with me on this. Like, I thought he was the man, and I put this expectation thinking, like, yeah, we're going to build this family. He's going to be this. But he didn't want that. And it took me, like, a long time to realize, like, oh, okay. Yes.
How long did it take you to realize that?
Ooh, she's spicy.
Tell the younger kids, beloved.
Okay, honestly, it
beloved.
took me like 9 years. No bull. You know why? Because I grew up with my mom and dad, like my sister said. I grew up with my dad. And since I grew up with my dad, he always took care of the household. Exactly. So when I met this man, I was like, okay, I think he can be this man I want him
Potential
to be.
is a scam.
Yeah. Oh man, potential
is
that
violence.
should be kicking your ass,
Potential is
man.
violence. No, for real.
So here I am thinking this man is gonna be all this. I'ma stick with him. He about to be big. He ain't gonna leave me. But this man had another plan. Like,
Exactly.
yeah, I'm
And you
out here
couldn't
fucking
change it
these
out of
niggas.
him.
Yeah, I couldn't change it. And me, the person I am, like I said, they can tell you, I'm going to change you. I want to be with you. I don't care what you do to me. I don't care how long we've been together. I
Yeah,
don't care.
talk in a safe space.
I'm gonna stay with him no matter what. And it is,
Survivor, girl.
yeah,
she's
they'll
a
tell
survivor.
me. They will tell you.
I made up that
Y'all
song.
can't see TT stuff, but she's doing the choreography.
Yo,
I made
they
up that
will
song.
tell you I was ride or die. Fuck everybody. I'm with that nigga. He's mine. And in the end, I was like, oh, you ain't mine.
You for the streets.
Right. Oh, you for these bitches out here. And it took me a long time, but that's because I saw my dad and I thought, yeah, he's gonna
You know
take
what
care
it
of
could
us.
look like.
Yeah, you know, but he didn't have that. So that just showed you.
Well, you
Put
realize
You
your
also
eggs in-
found out too, right? It's okay.
Oh man, it found out what to look for in these niggas. It
Yes,
found out what I
honey.
don't like. I said, "Oh, first sign of bumness, I'm out."
First time you
man.
like
Yo.
because like I was saying, I was so hell bent on like we can make this, we can do this.
That's how-
Let me tell you something. First time you get a little too loud,
Yes.
like it really. First time you even look at me like
Sign.
yes,
the sign.
yes, I'm
Gotta
still.
flags be red.
I'm not like
Yeah.
struggling, but I'm still like working through
do it. No,
through
even,
like letting it be like, oh, I made a mistake.
listen. He called me the other day because now he got a job and a car. He said, "Lily, you don't need to be partying." Pause. We was in the same party together last week. You don't need to be partying. You gotta better your life. I said,
No,
out of the 9
You-
years I took care of you, I need to better my life, or I had to hang up with the quickness.
the glass.
Like, yo, with the quickness. Like, nah, yeah. So, you know, they just
Yeah,
don't put your expectations. You got to be
Right.
realistic.
right.
Even in my 35,
Absolutely.
at 35, I'm still
35,
realizing.
goddamn.
Don't.
Yeah, oh,
Oh, shut the hell up.
Sorry.
Don't put your expectations. Yeah,
I'm glad you said that, Mama D. And
Yeah,
of it,
that was
because
that was
I
greatness.
am today years old when I have to say that with my own mother. We good now. Shout out to Mom. She was a woman. She is a woman. She isn't human. I cannot put certain expectations on anybody, especially my mother as a woman and a human. I didn't talk to my mom. Will attest to this, so I'm not saying nothing new. I didn't talk to my own mother for 2 years over something that I thought that she should have done as a mother. Now, me not being a mother, but being someone's child. Now I'm 39 years old. Today years old, I can see that I shouldn't have done that. Because she was a woman, she was a human, and that doesn't mean that she was or is perfect. So thank you for that.
I just follow that. I didn't talk to my sister for 2 months behind my baby father, and it was hurtful. You remember that? Oh my gosh. Yeah, cause you know some shit went down. She had my uncle beat him up. Not even beat him up. Just choke him up. Just choke him up.
Don't incriminate nobody, but
This sorry, just choke him up. And I was so mad.
I was there.
First of all, because she was the culprit, and then she told me sister, and then here they go. I said, damn.
But what was I supposed to do?
Yeah, you're right.
We had listen, let's be honest. We had a lot of those times,
Let's
okay?
be honest.
We had really a lot of
Yeah,
those times.
it was.
I remember like going to work one day and like my boyfriend was like dropping me to work. I said, no, you gotta stop over you gotta stop up there real quick. I gotta do something real quick. He said, okay, no problem. He like, you up there in the people's house making a fight?
No.
Listen.
He didn't want to watch a baby
did
while I
real
went to
quick.
work. So I called my sister because, you know, she got to save a hoe. I
Captain.
said, sister, he don't want to watch the baby while I go to work.
But you know what? That's what you get. Because you can't unring the bell.
Yeah.
Once you call
Once
the
you call,
dogs,
it's
Yeah.
yeah.
All you see is clothes flying out the window. So
I think if you gonna watch the baby, she gonna run. You got to go. What are you doing here if you ain't trying to watch the baby?
I was telling two of my cousins, I was like, it's some stuff that this man has done, and I knew why I did not say anything to anybody
Because you
because
can't.
I would hate for people to go to prison. Like,
Not only go to prison, but you still gonna be with the nigga. Not you.
Listen,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah, you lost me. Wait a minute.
Listen, and let's be very clear here. So, so this is me. Like I'm just too old. I can't be with anybody who's crazy or whatever. But like sometimes my nigga gets on my nerves, and I just want to stab him in his eye, and I feel like because that's what they do. So the other day, Lilly boyfriend's talking to me. He's like, "You sound aggravated. What's wrong with you?" I like, "Oh yeah, so and so getting on my nerves." He go, "You want me to punch him in the face?" I said, "Yeah, you should." I said, "No, he didn't do nothing."
No.
I'm just playing. He didn't do nothing. But he said, "Yeah, because you know what? When I punch him in his face, and when I see him next day, I'm gonna be mad at him, and you gonna be back with him." Yep, that's exactly what it is. But this is what people should know: to learn to mind their fucking business. I'm sorry.
What we have to learn too is to stay out of people's business.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Mind your.
It's true. I remember my son's father's the only one like I really fought with, and please, we
and they fought because I don't want y'all to get
cussing and fussing and
getting
go
messed
the next
up.
day I'd be like this.
Yes.
Yeah, and my mother be walking around like, "You cool? Didn't he just whoop your ass last week?" And God was still like,
and this is
my business,
this is year. I think that it took me about a cool 10. Yes, it probably took me 10 years to learn that. So right now, if you and your boyfriend are fighting, and it's so funny because my grandmother been told me this. She told me two things. She said, "Listen, when you in somebody's house and them and their husband or their boyfriend is fighting, you just stay there. Don't do nothing. Don't jump in there. You ask them, do you want me to stay or you want me to leave?" That's it, right? So they're going to tell you that's all you have to do. And realistically, that is, if you and your man is fighting, I'm going to be sitting there just like this. Unless you give me an eye. Unless you give me an eye or say, "Come help me." That's when I'm jumping in, because guess what? At the end of the day, I'm gonna be mad and you gonna be happy laying up with your man like,
and you gonna be mad at me because I punched your baby daddy.
I'm not doing it. Right.
how many moments have we had like that? Like,
Well,
man.
I'm gonna tell you what. I have not learned my lesson because I'm jumping in only if he's getting the best of you, and some people in this room can attest to that. I'm jumping in. Now, y'all could be together tomorrow. I'm not going to be bad at either one of y'all, but I'm not going to let you get killed.
That's a good thing, though.
I'm not
But
going to let
not
you get killed.
everybody's like you.
Absolutely, because I don't
Not
know nobody
everybody's
like that.
yeah, not everybody's like you.
Right,
You be
absolutely.
jumping in and, be mad at your friend the next minute. Like,
But I don't even be mad. At the certain
it ain't
people
my
in the
business.
room, I ain't calling no names.
I learned.
I'm not going to be mad because that's your
I
man.
used
stuff
to be
we've been
so
through
good.
a lot.
Wow, I just said nobody name.
You incriminated yourself.
I didn't say that. I said we've been through a lot.
Okay.
Telling y'all that
Okay?
one of the best thing you could do is mind your fucking business. And you gotta say it like that. Mind your fucking business.
And that
Don't
goes
jump
for
in.
everything.
No,
mind your
but
business
that's
because you ain't raising that child. She is. Mind your business because you ain't got to work that job. He do. Just.
But don't jump in. I want to know.
But
like do what you said.
Okay, that's all I'm saying.
That's what I would
back
want.
to-
I'm
Some
not in
people
a
don't.
relationship.
Some people I would imagine don't. But I would say you see him taking me there. Then
I'm going to jump in.
Yeah,
I'm not going to be in your relationship.
Because you know what? Sometimes y'all be like, if you get like that, y'all be like, you get a little joke. I don't know.
you see the little twinkle in the eye. Like,
I like it. Love. I don't know. But when I see you give me the eye, okay, I'm gonna jump in. But
Do the eye like it. What's the eye? Do the eye again.
tingle.
the rolling.
When you see the whites, bitch.
You might want to jump in there.
No, but
I like
that's
it. Don't even
original
get loud with
point,
me.
though.
But this is what I'm saying. Once you know what you don't want, what you want is so much easier.
Yes.
What you want, like
Yes.
as soon as you start dating someone, and then they like talk too loud to you, like, oh yeah.
You know what
And
you're
sometimes you gotta mess up to know
That's
that.
so true.
Yes.
guys. That is so
No,
true.
much easier once you know what you
No,
want.
listen, my relationship after that, like, he was nice, had the house, everything, and it was just controlling. I said, oh, no, got to go.
Child,
Like,
don't get me started on them nice guys.
We be so into a particular type of brother.
We like ghetto.
Absolutely,
brother.
I know for me, I was so used to dealing with dudes that was selling drugs or definitely a hustler. I ain't have too many men until I want to say I started at maybe 30, stopped dealing with men that played in the streets and start dealing with brothers who was working. But
Transition.
But when I was out here and just messing with hustlers, you know, I had to tell myself, like, you get what comes with it. Like, you know what come with it. If you got to do this out here selling fliggity, yo, he can get pussy whenever the fuck he wants.
Oh, heavy on that.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I learned, like, nah, I'm gonna leave these little street ass niggas alone. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna get me a brother that's on the same page as me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Not that a brother that's working ain't a hoe. But a lot of times,
He gonna punch
you
you in your
got a
kidney
better
so you don't get a
chance
bruise.
with that dude that's out here working for that dollar like you. Because I know when I was hustling, I didn't value shit. Because I was
get
just
it.
so used to getting
Right.
it. But working today, it's like, So I've been single for 6 years. And I'm at a point in my life, I love my life. You know, I love going home and ain't nobody in that motherfucker but Gina, my cat. You know what I'm saying?
Shout out to Gina.
You got a whole
I
bed
can-
to sleep to yourself.
What? Like,
Diagonal.
but what I also learned is when I invite a brother over, like you said, you know, it's them things you be like, nah,
Yeah.
this motherfucker ain't for me.
And when it's time
You know
to
what
go,
I'm saying? And, you know, it's like,
what you about to do?
right. And
y'all
it's
finna
like
get
at
into?
night, once shit is done,
What you about to do?
nigga, you calling the Uber because,
What you about to do?
you know, I want to wake up in my bed to me.
Yes.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
I don't know if y'all
But what
can
I
relate.
also learned when the millennium hit, I think women start thinking like the men, and men done got a little bitchy. You know what I'm saying? Because
on now, it's 2
I
snaps
know
up.
the women that I deal with, it's like, nah, I ain't with that shit.
And
You
we
know,
don't want to be like
and
this.
then I know,
Yeah.
you know, me and this dude, we was kicking it like 2 years, but we had an agreement. Nigga, we was having fun. When we got up, nigga. I shut shit down for this nigga. Nah, I ain't keeping the baby tonight.
Come on now.
No,
I got
he
plans.
came through. But once he was like, oh, you know, we've been doing this and yo, I might as well. Yo, it was like my apartment started shrinking, nigga. Oh, shit. Like, nah,
Your
you
apartment
can't
and
come
your
Walls
mind.
closing in.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, we had an agreement.
Listen.
What happened?
What happened was
I'm about
they
to
don't.
hit y'all
what
up.
happened was they don't. Some men, not all. Some men don't like when you are the one that have agreed to the agreement.
Yes.
They don't feel right unless they have deceived their way into the cooch.
And a lot of dudes are so used to dealing.
With
I don't like the, you know, make females feel lesser than, but I just feel like sometimes men are so used to dealing with broads that, you know, really be on that, sweating them, this and that, and then when you meet that chick that, nigga, you can't give me a motherfucking thing I can't give myself, nigga,
come
sweat.
on now.
Yes.
I definitely don't sweat a brother.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I think them are the chicks that it's like, yo, this bitch really ain't sweating me.
Okay.
nigga. I gotta do
can't
the
take it.
extras.
Okay.
They can't take
You
it.
know what I'm saying? It's like, nah, you don't got to. Like, what I learned, when you're good with you,
That's all
you
you need.
good with everything around you. You know what I'm saying? When you don't got that bad energy and you ain't walking around, like I got a girlfriend, like, yo, I said to her just 2 weeks ago, like, yo, I'm not going to call you for a minute. You always sound angry.
Yes.
Crunch.
Like,
The crunch.
what is you
Can't be
mad
mad.
about?
It's on your back, man.
You know what I'm saying?
Listen.
So,
I have never been able to say that. Thank you.
I learned that I've been in such a good place for like the last 4 years that even to my girlfriend, I love you, boo, but until you can release that shit, I need you
Not
to
kick
stay
rocks.
on that
I don't need
side.
it. I don't want it nowhere near
Because,
me.
like, how do you be angry? You're never happy.
Nothing good
Yeah.
ever
Nothing
happened.
ever-
Never have nothing to
Listen,
be happy for.
I'm telling you, 2020 was a year of awakening for me. I had a lot of long, strong relationships break, and it has been, no lie, the best shit that has ever happened to me. Because let me tell you, I used to speak to this person every day in the morning, first thing in the morning. Like, I wake up, I do a little routine, I say a little prayer, I drink a little tea, go for my little walk, come back home. I said, okay, now, let me work. Let me start to work. I'm working from home now. And this dude called me and be like, boom, 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 hate this here, fuck these kids, everything, just mad. And that starts
Bringing it
coming to
down.
my energy. Because you know what? It's easier for a person to bring you down to the level than for you to bring that person up.
Because they don't want to come.
Yeah, I'm like, I was
Some
taking...
people like that, to
No,
be miserable.
But you have to learn when misery knock at your door, you have to say, I don't want no company.
None at all. You don't want it nearby you. Because then those are also the people when stuff good's happening to you, they start poking holes in it. Like, I'm good.
Even if it's baby holes,
Yes.
it still adds up.
Yes. You want me to be sad?
Yes.
I'm good. I woke up. I got a bed. My baby is fed. I'm good. I have nothing to be angry about. Even
And
if
you
it's
know
the
what? You
little
could come
stuff.
with me. You could come with me.
But it's
I'm not
what you
going
in
to
a
bring
peaceful
you.
pace.
I'm not going to bring you, but you could come with me.
But if
You
you
know,
stay
the
miserable,
thing
you have
is,
to
like,
stay where you at.
everybody can get there. You just gotta want to get there. You
Mm-hmm.
can't be so angry till you can't get there. And when you're angry like that, you need to sit by yourself.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Come
You know
on
what I'm
now.
saying? Because it's
Okay.
like, I'm not in that space, and I'm not gonna allow anyone to put me in that space where I'm fucked up because you fucked up. I'm not fucked up because I'm fucked up. I'm fucked up because
Right.
you
I'm
fucked
feeling
up.
what you feeling.
No.
But it's to get
because
there.
when I'm in that space where, yo, my mouth is crazy, I'm feeling crazy, I'm gonna tell you, I don't pick my phone up because I know it ain't for you.
Don't you do that?
You know
Come
what
on
I'm
now.
saying? I know it ain't for you, so then I have to step outside myself and ask
As you
myself,
should.
like, what the fuck you doing that you angry like this? Like, is it that serious?
Right.
You know, then I have to weigh my skills and be like, nah, boo, we ain't been here in a long time. We ain't going here. You know what I'm saying? So I learned, like, I got 2 best friends. We've been best friends. I was 8, one was 9, and the other was 11.
Oh my God.
I'm 54, Yvette's 55, and Cinna be 57 this year. And it's like, I know what I'm getting with these 2 broads. You know what I'm saying? And I will hope to think they know they getting what they're getting with me.
Right.
But what I learned in the different personalities of growing up, I'm at a place in my life where my best friend, love her to death, nothing I wouldn't do for her 2 kids is my god kids. But I feel like she's always pissed, always coming. But then I hear her say, when she was with her man, how he was always negative pissed. And so sometimes I feel like, yo, negative Ned done turned you into negative Nancy.
Because guess
You
what?
got-
You can't be with somebody for a whole bunch of years and not pick up something from
Yes.
them. You got to pick up
Because
something
let
from
me
them.
tell you
Absolutely,
something. My
but-
son's father used to be able to take me there. And I'm talking about take me there, like, get me out of my body, take me there. Now he start popping his shit. I just put the phone down.
I
I'm
think,
not
though,
gonna let you. We can't do
with
it.
our kids' father, and I'm pretty sure they feel the same way with the mothers. Because I also agree with you and understand. Because out of all the men I ever dealt with, my son father could take me to some levels a man ain't never took me.
Okay.
I remember, growing up, I was fighting bitches on the bus, the train. You couldn't even look at them. Oh, you fucking her? You know what I'm saying?
Oh
Like,
God.
Jesus.
like, I was so off the hook that I lost myself in this man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I remember
Auntie Betsy
my
been
son,
there, done that.
my son being little and sitting him on the wall on Blue Hill because I see his father walking down the Ave with a bitch. Nigga, I sit my 4-month-old baby on the wall like,
We about to
nigga,
get right. Yeah, you gotta
I know.
get right.
And till he used to be like, yo, you're fucking crazy, blah, blah, blah. Till nigga, I started saying I was fucking crazy. Because I couldn't switch my bullshit up no matter how much I tried, yo. But then what I learned when I left him, like, yo, you was fighting for something that won't even fighting for you.
Yes.
Man,
You better
Yo.
write it down.
You
Okay,
know what I'm
write it
saying?
down.
It's one thing when we fighting together, but nigga, when I'm fighting and you doing the same thing, I'm getting the same results. No, I'm fighting a fight that it's gonna always
That's
be a
what they call
loss.
insanity.
You know what I'm saying? So what I learned was, it took me 14 years, but yo, I stepped up. Do you? And what I learned was dealing with him. From that point on, from 14 to 28, I learned that it's a lot of things that he did, no man ain't never did again. Never did again.
What you said, you know
I-
better, you do better.
Absolutely. And
Okay.
what I also learned is today, back then, my son father, girl, must have cheated on me 1,000 times. And yo, Sydney better tell you, I used to be like, I don't give a fuck, that's my man. Today, nigga, you cheat on Devona, it's over. So I hope you know when you cheat that I don't care. One thing that I learned from a man, because I heard so many men say it, it ain't that they want the bitch.
It's because they
can
can
have
do
it.
it. They can have it. They can do it. It's easy. It's there.
So to me, if you're willing to gamble, sleeping with this broad, to throw away what we built, what we trying to build, whatever, that's on you. That have nothing to do with me. But what
come
I
on
can
now.
promise you is I'm gone.
Exactly.
I'm gone. And don't get me wrong, not saying I won't hurt and some more. Yo, I may be hurting, but how about, nigga, you won't do it again.
Listen.
So I hope you learn from me. When
Amen
you
to
cheat
that.
on the motherfucker, you better know what you're doing. Because if you cheat on Devona, I'm gone.
I feel like too. Y'all heard when Miss Elania said that is she's a fan of commitments and don't break your commitment to me. And I say, yeah, that's exactly what it is. With the way she put it, she said, you made a commitment to me that you're gonna be with me and not cheat on me, and then you decided that you was going to cheat. Like, we ain't talking about nobody that you ain't really dealing with. We're talking about your actual man cheating
Right.
on you. And like, you made a commitment, I'm gonna be with you. You're the one I want to be with. I love everything about you. But then you decide to go and cheat on me. I said, it makes sense, because guess what? That person is lacking a lot of things, and one of the things is integrity. Like, if you're gonna cheat on me, the person who you have to sleep with every night,
Right.
what
How could
else
you
are you
look me
gonna
in
do?
my face?
Right. What else are you going to do to me? What else could you do?
Punch you in the kidney.
Yeah, like, you're not a good person for anything. Like, that's the one thing that you hold
And I
dear.
learned, I ain't that old, but I learned when I younger in
Chill
my
out,
like
chill out.
teenage years that you have to keep it in mind, but you have to. They need to keep it in mind too. The same reason why you wanted to talk to me, you thought I was cute, you thought I was funny, you thought I was smart, is the same reason why he wants to, and he wants to, and she might, and he wants to.
Come on,
So let's move
inclusivity.
accordingly.
Yes.
You can't forget who you are. This, and like Miss Devona said, what you did has everything to do with you. It has nothing to do with me.
Not a goddamn thing.
It has nothing to do with me.
Let me
So-
ask y'all this. And we have not been going in order, but for this particular question, I want to go in order from youngest to eldest. Anything that you wish you knew then that you know now that you can give to another woman? Could be anything.
Motherhood or
I would like it to be motherhood, but it could be anything because we've been going on off everything. So
And say that question again. Is there anything that you knew then, that you didn't know then, that you know now, that you wish you could give another
another black woman. Could be motherhood, could be relationships, could be work. Anything that you wish you already knew that you found out on your own, you fucked around and found out that you wish you could have knew already?
I would say that it's okay to be selfish. Nothing is more. And it's gonna sound selfish because it is. Nothing is more important than you. Like when I was speaking earlier about you can't take care of a child successfully when you're not healthy. This relationship, whatever relationship you may be in, will never be more important than you. This job, you feel like they're not listening to you, they treat you in any old kind of way. Nothing is more important than you. If you want to leave this job, you want to leave that relationship, whatever you have to do to take care of yourself so that you can prosper, then you need to do that. That's what I wish I knew sooner. Lily?
Oh, snap.
You was cute, Jordan, but you know I'm younger than her.
Right. Oh,
She
yeah.
is younger. So I said youngest.
Yeah.
No, she said she's younger than me.
Okay.
Can I swear on here?
Yes,
You bitch.
This is a safe
I've been
space.
swearing. Sorry. Number one, fuck these niggas.
All right now.
Nah, I don't know. You actually took the words out of my mouth. Like, yeah, you gotta. If you don't take care of yourself first, how are you gonna take care of your kids? How are you gonna
Hell
take
you gonna
care?
love somebody else?
Yeah. How are you gonna be able to take care of your household? Like, you gotta put yourself 1st. You know, that's really it. Sorry, that's it. Again, fuck these niggas. Sorry.
Lisa.
I just want to say that life is short. Life goes by so fast. And if you have the chance, the time to spend with your loved ones and do good things out of the kindness of your heart, not expecting anything in return, your life is going to be good. And the other thing, too, don't ever forget, is spend time talking to older people. Because guess what? Them older people is going to drop dimes on you, and you're not even going to realize how good they are until, like, one day you're talking to your friends, and you're like,
And you dropping
boom,
them
and
dimes.
you dropping them
Yep.
same dimes.
Yep.
So I actually absolutely love, like, talking to, and I don't even mean older people, like years. Like some of my best friends are like a couple of years older than me, and we talk every day. And I'm like, wow, you really is a smart ass person. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I enjoy all of that, and I think that if younger people did that, then they would be better off because these people can give you a perspective that you never had, wouldn't even
Like
think
I
of.
had today at 39 years
Yeah,
old.
listen, the awakening. Because even here with all of you guys, it was so great, and I got to see all these different perspectives. I never thought about postpartum depression like that because it was something that like I didn't know about that. Miss Devona was saying she didn't know about that, but hearing you guys talk about it, I'm like, wow, it's it's a real thing. So appreciate that and take time and do good things in life because life is short.
True.
OG.
And what I wish I knew then that I know now, that I would love to pass on, is my worth. For me, my worth, I think you hear a lot of women say we know our worth, but we don't. Because when you know your worth, you don't settle. You don't settle. You say what you mean what you say, and you stand in it. You know what I'm saying? And I learned that I learned my worth, I want to say about maybe 7 years ago. So it's easy for me today to know what I'm accepting and what I'm not.
That's that. Listen.
That was good. Come on.
Who told you to take a sip?
Everybody else was sipping.
Oh,
and I
y'all
was
did?
thirsty.
Oh, I've been
Sorry.
I was thirsty.
You were parched.
go. This
These
thing
wasn't
almost done.
no champagne goblets, but I just had to give some little champagne to the mamas. Can y'all raise your? I was gonna call my mama, but she's busy. Her whole life is right here. How could she not answer for me?
Right. What
But
else you got to
listen,
do besides be my mom?
Right. So to all the mothers, especially the black mothers, not ashamed. I love y'all. Jordan, Dora, Lilly, Mama D.
We love you.
Thank
Love you
y'all
too.
for so much knowledge today. Toss it up.
Thank you for having us. Happy Mother's Day, ladies.
Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day.
This should stop podcast. THISYOUR podcast. It's free. Swear to God. Love y'all.